If anyone can guess what the screenshot is that I used for a thumbnail for part 1 of Meakashi, I also used another screenshot from that same game. In the Sonic Syndrome test video. I might do more videos like that if anyone finds that interesting. But if anyone can guess the game and express an interest in seeing me play said game, I'll do it. Granted, while I know the plot of the game and everything, and I've seen it played through before, that was like 15 years ago. So, more than likely I'd be a bit confused and lost and not know what to do. Also, it would be a slightly, air quotes, scary game. I think it was initially made in the era of the Flash games. So as long as the version of it that's available on Steam works, I'll play it. I have gotten a few Steam games that just either wouldn't work on my computer, and some would work, but OBS completely refused to acknowledge they existed, so I couldn't record them. I remember there was a game called Notch somebody had suggested to me. OBS refused to acknowledge that the game even existed. I couldn't record it in any way. But, yes. If you can guess that game and express a desire that you would like to watch me play that game, I'll play it. But you have to both want to watch me play it, and you have to know what the name of that game is. I was also using both of those screenshots as my attempt of making a reference to a bit of how Shion is, or in fact, how a lot of the characters are in this game. And for anyone who is familiar with the plot of Higurashi, a lot of the characters behave in not so nice ways. But then again, there are Hinamizawa syndrome to explain for that. Recently I got Doom the Dark Ages on the PS5. It's a good game. But when playing it, I realized something. I know I've described myself as looking like the Dragon Ball Z fusion of Tim Curry and Jack Nicholson before. But I think the best way to describe me, in terms of my physical appearance, I look like the Dragon Ball Z fusion of the Doom Slayer and Felix Argyle. Now, as far as my personality can best be described as the fusion of the following 11 pairs of anime characters. Fusion 1, Yusuke Urameshi, and Sailor Moon. Look at my profile picture. It's a random picture I found somewhere like a decade ago or something. Fusion number 2, Astolfo and Jack Hanma from Baki the Grappler. I also feel that there is a character that looks like that fusion, Ramuda Amamura. Fusion number 3, Krona Gorgon from Soul Eater and Vash the Stampede from Trigun. Fusion 4, Stein, also from Soul Eater, and Nagisa from Assassination Classroom. Fusion number 5, Chip the Cable Guy is played by Jim Carrey from the movie The Cable Guy. and Ernest, as played by Jim Varney. Fusion number 6, Vegeta, and the 2003 Guilty Gear XX Testament. Fusion number 5, Goku, and Tsukasa from Dot Hack Sign. Fusion number 8, Shinji Ikari from Evangelion, and Zelos Metallium from the Slayers series, starring Lena Inverse. Fusion number 9, Licht Bach Rihito from the anime Plunderer, and Takumi Nishijo from the video game Chaos Head Noah, which also had an anime. Fusion number 10, I kind of feel that each of these individuals in of their own right have my personality and my same inner dialogue, but their fusion is even more perfectly a summation of who I am inside my head. Date from the AI The Somnium Files, and Mikan Sumuki from Danganronpa 2. Fusion number 11, Mega Man Volnut from Mega Man Legends. It's for the PS1 and the best Mega Man game ever made. I still want a Mega Man Legends 3. An Alucard from Team 4 Stars, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. And heck, if I had to describe my sexual preferences as I'm making a Team 4 Star joke, I even made a really crappy attempt of trying to copy Alucard's Team 4 Star speech he gave in episode 5 against Rip Van Winkle. I even used a picture of the PFP of my channel for the thumbnail of that and backdrop of that video. But I would say I have two types. Kaoru Nagisa from Evangelion, and Crispini. I guess. Or imagine someone like the Shy Lily VTuber, but Futa. Anyway, now that I've successfully made everyone listening to this more uncomfortable than they thought they could ever be, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I am a crazy otaku who works in a factory and talks to his computer. I enjoy video games and animes, and I enjoy Let's Plays from way back the era of Ultra J-Man and Rom Scout, and Slow Beef, and Freelance Astronauts, and Proton John, back when Lunar was magic. Old Mario ROM hacks before Mario Maker even existed, before the Wii even existed. And here soon a Switch 2 is going to come out. I enjoyed the Fleekazode video, how President Flump saved Nintendo fans. I also enjoyed a lot of YouTubers' reactions to it. Now, as for me, you may be wondering, what's the point of my channel? And the answer is, there is no point. I promise nothing. I guarantee even less. And the only thing consistent about my channel is a complete and total lack of any kind of professionalism. I just make whatever videos I feel like, and I do them because I feel like it. I've never made a cent from this channel. I never will. I'm not monetized and I never will be. Heck, I don't know why YouTube would ever even want to monetize me. But even if I had 1 million subscribers, I will never monetize this channel. I will never make a single penny from any video I ever make. I will never have sponsors or super chats or merchandise. I will never get money from ads or anything. I am not making any money at all from this channel, and I never will, and I never have. But I will annoy all of you very much. I just like making these videos. And I would say there's no plan, but as of right now, the plan is simply I want to do all the Higurashi games, and then in October when it comes out, there's a game called Union Rhythm Psychosis Denpa Brain Rot, and I am wanting to play that game. It looks really cool. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Plus, it is by the same developer as Needy Streamer Overload. So it may have some darker elements to it, I don't know. But it does look like it'll be a lot of fun. As to what to expect on this channel, I do a bit of everything. My ear itches, hold on. I sometimes read books. I'm terrible at singing, but I like karaoke, so I enjoy singing. And I play various video games. And heck, I've even shared a lot of stuff in various playlists by other people. As just sort of me saying, hey guys, I found this cool video. Like show and tell, and I'm like, hey, I think you should watch this, sort of thing. Aside from that, I tend to just talk about whatever's current with me. I guess today's current thing is describing myself as the Catboy Felix Argyle, but as the Doom Slayer. You know, it's at this time a lot of people, if they, I don't know, had access to an AI or anything like that, they would probably just have an AI like combine the pictures of Felix Argyle and the Doom Slayer. But I'm not going to mess with the AI stuff, though I have considered AI stuff in the past several times, and who knows, maybe I will in the future one day. But right now, no. Right now, I don't feel like it. Plus, I don't feel like paying for anything. But, if anything, simply imagine Felix Argyle as he is in the show, ReZero, but wearing the clothes from the Doom the Dark Ages outfits. And heck, there's multiple outfits. There's the classical Doom Slayer outfit. There's also Void and Divinity. So each of those could look pretty kick-ass. Though I also guess you could have 2 variations of them. Variation A would be having it look pretty much true to the style of Doom. And variation B of each of those outfits would have them be a little bit more revealing, skimpy, skin showing, and a bit femboy. Just to be whatever any of you would consider aesthetically pleasing. And, well, I guess we've delayed the game long enough. I suppose everyone's gotten enough information about me. I don't know. I suppose if we went into further detail about me as a person, I'm an American. I love America. I support free speech, the Second Amendment. I support the Constitution. I strongly support Donald Trump, one of the greatest presidents ever. I also strongly support Elon Musk. I also am a Christian. I believe in God. I love Jesus. I also greatly enjoy various other VTubers, YouTubers, such as Asmongold, Kirsch, Smugalonga, Rev Says Desu, Raging Golden Eagle. Heck, Tyga X Holic's pretty cool too. I enjoy the band Tool. I'm bi, so bisexual, but at the same time, pretty laid back about a lot of stuff, tend to have mellow temperament, and really prefer to just be chill, play some video games. I tend to walk on bike trails quite a bit. It may sound boring to people, and a lot of people would say you don't accomplish anything by walking on the bike trail, and that's true. I don't accomplish a thing, but I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy just going to the bike trail, and I don't even listen to music or anything while I'm out there. Sometimes I'll walk the bike trail and I'll just talk to myself, and sometimes I'll just walk on the bike trail, not saying anything at all, just looking at the trees and the clouds and just listening to the air quote, sounds of nature. But then again, I'm also the same kind of person that if there's a big thunderstorm, I'll sit on my front porch and I'll watch and listen to the thunder while I drink some Pepsi or some tea. I enjoy a lot of very good video games, especially from the past. I also have to say, my ear just, hold on, everyone's like, hold on, sorry about that. My ear is just super itchy. I suppose I also have to say, I love my mother very, very, very much. I also love Christmas. But yeah, I love my mom. I love my mom very, very much. And I have fond memories of playing Mario 1 and Mario 3, the original Mario games on the NES, as well as the original Spyro the Dragon. Also, my mom would cook a lot of food, homemade, and I'd sit in the kitchen to talk to her while she was cooking. So, I suppose that may sound lame to other people, but I'm not ashamed of that in any way. I'm not ashamed in the tiniest bit to say that I love my mom very, very, very much. Let's continue this game. Good morning, Shion-san. Did you sleep well last night? Sleeping on the couch was a bit too uncomfortable. As a Japanese person, I want to sleep in a futon on the floor. Just get a fucking mattress, for the love of God! This pickled radish is good. That's good to hear. Please let me know what you need later on. I'll try to get as much as I can. Thanks. Oh, but you don't need to worry so much about me. I chose this life for myself anyway, and your wallet wouldn't last if I started extorting you, right? Haha. I have to be serious about my plan. I can't let myself take advantage of Kasai's wallet forever. I will say this. I can understand Shion's parents and grandma being a bit miffed about her running away from the school she's in. However, the nail thing that occurs is so excessive to an extreme that honestly it's pretty fucked up. Like, I mean, how is that? That's going to have major psychological impacts on a person, even without Hinamizawa syndrome becoming a thing. So, I'm just saying, maybe, like, obviously, yes, they can express, the tie's pretty cool. I mean, they can express some dissatisfaction with her on certain things. And maybe say, okay, we'll cut you off on certain things in terms of not helping you and stuff, and you're just going to have to live your life with a little bit that Kasai is able to support you. But at the same time, fucking kidnapping her and forcing her to remove her fingernails. And hypothetically, yes, they'll grow back over time. But there is no reason to do something that excessively painful or injurious. Heck, anything that causes too severe psychological, like not even counting physical damage. Anything that's too severe psychological. I would say this. Anyone who's any kind of authoritative position over another person, the three biggest ways you can cause someone to absolutely hate you and lose all respect for any authority you have would be 1, to give someone too severe of a punishment, 2, to give someone too frequent of a punishment, or 3, to punish somebody for literally no reason or as a means of simply exerting control over them, to where you're not even doing it because they did anything wrong, you're doing it just because you either don't approve of them, you don't want them to have their own opinions, or you just want to be able to control them, or you just want to hurt them for sadist's sake. I suppose the bonus point round would be is if you were to completely not have any sort of positive reinforcement or encouragement toward a person. It's not just the overabundance or severity of negative, but simply put, if somebody, especially if you're doing things that would deserve, praise or compliments, and you're not given them even in situations where you earned them, that would certainly cause some resentment. Now, that being said, obviously the concern that, this family basically essentially forced Mion and Shion as sisters to hate each other by creating a very... You're treating two people that are sisters very radically different. That's going to cause problems. But, and especially the whole thing about Oryu possibly going to strangle one of them. Though there's also word that at some point the original Shion and Mion got replaced and switched out to where, because they originally, were going to tattoo Mion to designate her different, but it just happened to be on a day that Shion was swapped out with her. So technically the Shion we have right now was actually the one who was born first to given the name Mion. But of course there's plot holes and contradictions on that. So, yeah. Main point I'm saying is this. While a lot of the events that a lot of the characters do in this game are really unjustifiable, they're way too extreme, I will say the Hinamizawa syndrome definitely does make a case for it wasn't really their fault. And while it does make it hard to sympathize for people, at the same time you can understand even minus Hinamizawa syndrome and even the thing with the fingers. I mean, it's not an issue like a villain's being born so much as villains being made. I feel like a lot of these situations, especially in Tatari Goroshi in terms of Kiichi towards Teppei, I feel like there was very extreme extenuating circumstances. I would say to a large degree, many of the people aren't being evil or even violent for violence sake. They're doing so with either out of paranoia, fear, or out of doing what they think is right. Albeit, they're having fucking brain parasites fucking up their brain, and also ghosts and supernatural things also influencing them. But aside from that, there are some very extreme situations that make for very good stories. I still want 07th expansion to make a new, in 2025 or even 2026, a brand new Higurashi game or anime or something. I know, I'm being greedy. It's like saying you have so much of this one cool anime and video game series, but I want more. I want a new... even though I have Doom the Dark Ages, I still want a game that plays like Halo 3, but I want it to be a completely brand new game. I want it to be like the ultimate run-and-gun FPS video game. Maybe we'll get that. Heck, I shared recently in a post, Asmongold was covering this new anime-type game that's coming out, and it looks really, really awesome. I can't actually remember the name of it off the top of my head. Now, I did make in the post mention that I'm also looking forward to Anata. It's an anime Grand Theft Auto game, which was originally titled Project Mugen. Also that I feel Mayuri Kurochiki and Goku from DBZ have the same personality, but that's explained in the post. But yeah, I'm gonna click on this post because I can't remember the... Pause. Let's go back to the start. Nope, I don't want to listen to an ad. I'm gonna mute this. Probably should have muted it from the start, but I was busy. Silver Place. Palace. Silver Palace? Silver Place? That's missing an A in that version of it. Either way, just type in either Silver Palace or Silver Place. Silver Palace, Silver Place, whatever. Just saying. It looks really cool. Everyone said, you're currently playing a video game. You're even recording it for a video. And you're like talking about another video game. And it's like, it's that meme is like, it's like, anyway, but yeah. Heck, out of the Assassin's Creed games, I like Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed Rogue. Very good parkour in those games. But yeah, let's just try to stay focused. I'm just saying this. Yeah, some of the stuff, especially the stuff with Satoko, pretty fucked up. Shion obviously does some fucked up shit. But I'll say this. The situation with the nail thing, I feel, was unjustifiable. Now yes, Shion herself did some unjustifiable stuff, in my opinion, after that. But I do feel that she received the unjustifiable treatment first. That being said, she did kind of also not only do unjustifiable things herself, but she did those things to innocent people that did nothing wrong to her. In fact, a lot of the people she hurt were innocent and did nothing wrong to anyone. In fact, they even considered her a friend. So, yeah. So obviously, and I'll say this, This game definitely is meant to be paired with, you know, Watanagashi Chapter 2. This is the video game number 2, Watanagashi, was this same storyline, but from Keiichi's point of view. Whereas this is from Shion's point of view. And I do agree with the After Party people, the all-cast review, that this game series really should be played in order. So if this is the first video you're seeing of this, heck, if this is the first you've ever heard of Higurashi, then you're probably going to feel a bit lost and the story's going to be a bit spoiled for you. Heck, if you've never heard of Higurashi before at all, I would recommend just going and watching the animes. There's quite a few, though I would say start with the oldest one first, because a lot of the newer animes change the story quite a bit and have entirely new scenarios. Or let me know in the comments below. What are some animes you like? You can tell me very popular ones you think everybody's heard of, but especially if there's animes that you think are really amazing that you think are underappreciated. Like, I'll go first. Outlaw Star with Gene Starwind. Or Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. Or Ghost in the Shell. I think I'm going to start a part-time job. But yeah, yeah, like I said, I feel that a lot of what happens to the story actually could have been avoided. If, you know, the nail scene never occurred. Which technically it's still in the future here in this part of the story, because we're reading it. But it won't be taking place in this video, or probably not even the next 10 videos. I don't know how long it'll take. We are meeting Satoshi here. And probably Mion and Shion's mom. But I do feel like a lot of the bad things that occurred were because other people did also very bad things that were poor decisions. It doesn't mean that the later things were justified. Like, it doesn't mean that the way Shion behaved was right. But it does mean that if those bad things that occurred to her hadn't happened, then she probably would have had no reason to even think about doing any of this stuff at all to begin with. I have to earn my own living. This is the life I chose, so naturally I have to take care of it myself. And this is fine and acceptable. Like, her rest of her family could just decide to leave her be on that. They don't have to, like, fucking kidnap her and force her to painfully remove her fingernails in a horrifically painful... And, like, there's multiple things. One, not only is it a very physically painful thing that is honestly a level of pain no human should ever have to endure, but also the fact that it's your own fucking family, the people you care about and trust. And even though Mion was trying to encourage her and help her through it, she was still the one forcing her to do it. This is going to cause severe PTSD, and even if it's a situation where Mion was trying to be helpful, there's no way in which this isn't going to make Shion, anytime she thinks of Mion, feel anything other than fucking fear, trauma, anger, disgust, and sadness and betrayal. Hell, I feel like a lot of the things that they wind up doing, that it's more like something that you'd see in, like, the fucking Sith. You know, like Emperor Palpatine sort of shit. Like, I feel like fear, hatred, control. I mean, that's all. It's about having excessive control over someone. It's about ruling through fear. And it's about pushing someone by filling them with hatred. Like, even at the most benign, you're making them a better person by making them grow through hatred, which is just horrible. It's just... I find it horrible. Then again, I find the idea of hell unjustifiable. I've gone into full detail discussing that before. Then again, I feel like if there was a lament configuration for Lunar, because you guys have watched Hellraiser before, right? In the lament configuration, at least that one, it summons Pinhead. I feel like that there was an equivalent of the lament configuration for me. Like if you open the box and you summon Lunar, what would happen is I would show up and I would give you ice cold Pepsi and some fresh pizza, and I would show you a bunch of random anime and video games, and I'd give you a bunch of large, adorable, stuffed animals and plushies, and I'd be like, hey, listen to this cool song by Tool. Hey, have you seen this really cool bike trail? Hey, look at this tree. Hey, you see that cloud? And I'd probably also annoy you by talking about very nerdy things and various animes and video games. Also, I might talk about trains, or VTubers, or World War II, or dinosaurs. Or like geometry, or like how the Pythagorean theorem works. Or gay stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I have ADHD. I think I've just gotten really bad short-term memory and lack of, ability to focus or have a attention span anymore. I think that's gotten worse as I've gotten older. I also don't have any self-esteem. Also, I might have autism of some kind. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just saying. Also, apparently I have something called disorganized speech, both in terms of the way I talk and the way I write. So, the way I communicate, I guess, is a bit socially awkward, and at times I kind of repeat myself and forget that I said the thing that I just said. Or I jump from topic to topic. I'm like a train. And I have 8 different tracks, and I can't stay on any of them. Then again, it's that question of, how do you solve the trolley problem? And the answer is multi-track drifting. I don't know. I suppose I'm ruining this video game. I'm sorry, 07th Experience. Please make another video game so I can ruin that one too. Also make a new anime. Heck, what if you had a... I know Shadow of War doesn't let people make mods of it, but what if you made like a Higurashi style mod of Shadow of War? The game Italian and the orc stabbing. It also has good parkour. It's just there's a lot more stuff in, like the Nemesis system, which is copyrighted because, well, it would have been terrible if other people could have really used that really awesome system. Which again, I can understand them wanting to copyright, but if you're going to do that, either lease it out to other people and make a profit, or use it in some way that's really cool. If you're not going to use it, let other people do something. But I understand maybe other people might make a terrible game with it and make it look bad. I don't know. I'm just saying, I guess I'm being a bit greedy in terms of wanting something new that's really fun. But then again, there's all these things. Heck, there's always new anime, and heck, it's always fun to go back to rewatch old anime. Heck, I'm glad I live in an era of anime and air conditioning. Like, here's the thing, so many people say that they're an old soul. They wanted to be alive back when you could explore new worlds. Like, no, you didn't. Even if you're the person on the fucking, wooden ship sailing across the ocean, you wouldn't want that. You're on a hot, humid ship in the middle of the ocean, getting horrible sunburns, dying of fucking scurvy, eating moldy bread full of bugs. You don't even remember the last time you've seen anything with vitamin C. I mean, I'm glad I have modern medicine and hentai and video games, and I'm able to know so many amazing things in regards to science, like the scale of microbiology and cells and atoms, to the scales of the universe in terms of galactic filaments and types of stars and different types of galaxies. Though I imagine I probably don't have very many good views of the sky just because of light pollution. So I might have to head out somewhere at some point just to get a view from the country. Huh. It makes me wonder if there's really that big concern of light pollution then. After all, there were times in the past where if there was a power outage in like major cities, like like I think it was even New York itself at one point had a power outage and people were calling 911 because they saw the Milky Way galaxy much clearer than they ever had in their entire life. And they were just so unable to handle that. They were like, what's happening? I will say this, I kind of think it would be interesting to see aliens land. Though part of me is, obviously on the direction of them being benevolent and not, going to kill us all or conquer us or anything. But I'm just saying, one, if aliens exist, I would say I would believe God made them too. Though of course there would also be the concern out there that the aliens either could be a psyop by the government or literal fallen angels, or even if they're just purely extraterrestrial and actually real, I mean they may just be lying and actually have very bad intentions toward us. But I'm just imagining, and I know this sounds so selfish of me and so short-sighted, but the idea of, like, imagine the Asmongold video that you would see of Asmongold reacting to President Trump meeting with aliens. Just imagine the look on Asmongold's face. I'd be watching that video and I'd be like, huh. Called it. That's exactly the face I thought he'd make. I don't know. I guess the reason why I bring that up is even with it being 2025 and society having become, what can I say, open to a multitude of ideas, that I feel people, like I describe humans as having three traits fundamentally above all other traits. One, humans are naturally curious. We have great curiosity. Two, adaptability. Three, head pats. To give and receive head pats. To give and receive head pats. Affection. To give and receive affection. That humans are very curious, very adaptable, and they like to give and receive affection. Though, of course, there's much more to it, I guess. But I guess the main thing I'm trying to say is this. Even with the fact that it's a very different world than what it was in the past, I still think a lot of people would completely freak out and a lot of people in society would probably start acting crazy if all of a sudden there was like absolute concrete proof of aliens existing, let alone them actually landing and physically talking to world leaders. Like, I'd imagine there'd probably be riots, and that'd be horrible. People would get hurt. But I guess the main thing I was trying to say before that was, you wouldn't have enjoyed being in the past. It was horrible. Whereas nowadays, you can go to a mall, walk around, buy some cool anime, and get some delicious food. You can go to Walmart and buy tons of food from anywhere in the world. Whereas in the past, there was people that really didn't have much variety or choice when it came to food at all. In fact, a lot of life was just war and poverty and famine. And granted, I am a bit sad and irritated at certain negative things that have occurred in my life, but all in all, I'm still grateful for all the good things. And I appreciate my life, and I hope that the future will actually bring better and better things. But it's just the weird thing that people say that they wanted to be in the past to explore the world, and I'm like, it would have been horrible. Like, imagine you're the people exploring the Wild West in the past. You'd be out in the fucking woods, being attacked by fucking bears and wolves, eating fucking, like, terrible unflavored beef jerky and fucking berries, dying of fucking, like, cholera or malaria or something. Or, oh, you got bit by a snake, dead. I'm just saying. Heck, there was a guy called Steven Pinker that says he made a book called Angels of Our Better Nature, describing how, while we are more aware of the wars and stuff that occurred due to technology and the internet and everything, all in all, most people live in a much more peaceful life, free of war, as opposed to the past. Now granted, there are some places that face that stuff, and that's absolutely horrible. But my main concern is myself. Call it selfish, but I care more about my own well-being than I do about people on the other side of the planet. But it doesn't mean I like the idea that they're hurting. It's just, under normal circumstances in the past, there would have been no way for me to ever know. Heck, I do hope the best in terms of how people treat each other in the future. But I don't know. I guess the main thing, I keep getting distracted. The main thing I'm trying to say is that it would have been awful to be exploring, new worlds, like, in the past, like new countries, because you'd be so uncomfortable and in pain all the time. Whereas in modern era, you have air conditioning, you have a comfy bed, you have video games. Heck, I think the new Doom game comes with a mode called Video Tour mode. I feel like all video games should have that now, because it's so cool. Like, imagine just like having a little video tour, like just going around the game environments. Like, I don't know. It's something I find incredible. Then again, I remember the Senran Kagura games. There was a mode called Diorama. I thought that was really cool too. But I guess the main thing I'm just trying to say is that, do I have an appreciation for the history? Yes. Have I actually set foot on a real wooden ship that's a full-size scale replica of the ships that Christopher Columbus sailed? Yes. I've actually set foot multiple times in my life, including even back when I was like 10 years old, on a full-size replica of Christopher Columbus' ship. It was made of wood, it was in the middle of a river. And I'll tell you this, yes, it looked absolutely fascinating and incredible, and it was cool, and I'm grateful for the experience of being able to see the ship. But it would have been absolutely miserable fucking, living on that kind of conditions. It's like, take Assassin's Creed again. Like, it's cool to play the parkour thing that, you do as Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2. But, there's no physical way any of us would actually be able to do that parkour stuff. And even then, it would be very dangerous and honestly a lot of effort. And don't get me wrong, I'll mind some effort, but I don't think you guys understand the absolute severe extreme of how difficult, how dangerous, and how much arduous, just tedious, monotonous pain. Like, in real life, it would be very monotonous and tedious and painful. Whereas in video games, it's just fun. Like, take Black Flag, the whole thing with the pirate ships. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do that stuff back then because you're actually hurting people, getting killed, and it all around be a terrible, awful, horrible experience. But in a video game, it's so much fun. It's kind of like this. Grand Theft Auto. Like, I would never run people over on the sidewalk in real life. But in a video game, oh, so much fun. As you're just, like, jumping from buildings, firing rocket launchers here and there. Like, it's, like, I've played so many FPS games, so I couldn't imagine, like, actually shooting anyone. Unless it was, like, maybe self-defense or something. Even in that, I would rather just avoid that kind of situation completely. But the video games are so much fun. But they definitely don't make people violent. Heck, I remember how Socrates from ancient Greece was a big supporter of Mortal Kombat and Grand Theft Auto in the past. And everyone's like, how was that a thing? Well, technically what he was a vehement supporter of, he espoused that it was cathartic and emotionally healthy for people to do things like, practice their archery or their sword skills against straw dummies. Now, one, because it was actual physical exercise, and because it helped them learn and hone actual skills needed for survival, but also because he felt that, by taking your anger out or even expressing that on a straw dummy, it actually helped you to be a more functioning and peaceful member of society. So, I think given that logic, he would support video games like Mortal Kombat and first-person shooters and Call of Duty and Halo. And I'll tell you this, in my opinion, some of the absolute greatest things about some video games is, like, take Silent Hill. It has a very good story, especially Silent Hill 2. I mean, so many video games have such amazing art, characters, stories, music, incredible gameplay, and new novel ideas that are just where you can actually learn things in terms of just seeing the world in a new way. But above all, again, the video tour mode thing. You get to see whole new worlds. Like, imagine Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Or just take any of the MMOs that people play. Like, I was never a person who played World of Warcraft. I did play the RTS games, the Warcraft games, and StarCraft. But while I'm never somebody who played like an MMO like World of Warcraft, I would say, in my opinion, I think the thing that I would think is, I've played Path of Exile and stuff like that, but I don't think that counts. Does it? I don't know. I'm just saying I haven't actually played actual World of Warcraft. I've seen videos of it. I'm just saying I think the most interesting part of it is you're going around exploring a whole new world. Heck, I think people have made entire videos talking about the various levels. I think I remember watching them about where they rank the different levels of Spyro the Dragon from the different video games, and how it's just so beautiful and comfortable and cozy and ethereal. Like, just imagine, like, if there was a giant VR chat world where you could wander around, talk to people inside of like a level from Spyro the Dragon or Bloodborne or something. It's just, I just really enjoy seeing the background environments in video games. And you get to see whole new worlds, and it's like the same way with space travel. Like people say, like, "Oh, we're too old. We're born too late to explore the oceans, but too early to explore the space." I'm like, let's be clear. In the past, going around in fucking wooden ships would have been terrible and painful, and you'd probably be just dead from illness or starvation. But the idea of seeing beautiful new places is so incredible. Like, to see the environments and the islands like that. So it's like, yes, the actual arduous life of existing in the world of, like, being like Christopher Columbus would have been terrible and awful. And it would be hellish, in fact. But to play it in a video game and to see these beautiful environments, especially if you could see it in VR and look realistic, maybe a PlayStation 6 could do that. I don't know. Just saying. Honestly, I'd say the best thing would be just chilling and playing a video game where you're exploring whole new worlds, whether it's like a wooden ship of the past or a spaceship or anything like that. Even better if you have either friends or a romantic partner that you love there to watch it with you. Granted, that's that second thing. You can also be doing a lot of lewd stuff too. But then before and after doing the lewd stuff, you can, both play the video game together and look at these really cool, amazing worlds. And we're like, wow, that looks cool. Like, heck, I know this may sound a bit lame, but like if I had platonic or romantic friends that I'd want to take them on the bike trail and walk the bike trail with me. Heck, imagine if you can go into like deep dive technology like Sword Art Online or, Yggdrasil with, Overlord, Einzel Gone, that type of stuff. But imagine if, imagine if you and your friends could just, especially even if your friends are in a different city, a different state, or even on the other side of the world, a different country, if you guys could connect via the internet and use like VR headsets, and then you could just meet up and hang out in like the world of Bloodborne, but minus any of the stuff that's actually scary or dangerous. And just enjoy the beautiful city architecture. I think that's one of the great things about that Silver Palace game that Asmongold was showing off. It's just everything looks so beautiful. The environments just look so cool. And while I do like the Reignited trilogy with Spyro, I like the original version better for multiple reasons. One, because I have very happy memories of playing the game with my mom. So, to a large degree, the environments of the video game just make me think just happy memories of my childhood and how much I love my mom. But at the same time, it looks like it'd be so cozy just to walk around and have a picnic at. Heck, imagine if you could what if you could pick any video game world that you've been to, and you can go there, nothing's dangerous, mind you, and you could just like walk around with people. Heck, what if you had like a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, and you were able to both just go into a place like Dot Hack Sign. Like, you guys remember the anime Dot Hack Sign? What if you guys could go into the world and you could actually go there, with someone you love, and all of a sudden you're able to see these beautiful rivers and oceans and buildings and wonderful forests. Like, you'd see such beautiful environments. It's like space travel in real life would be awful. It would just be isolating, and the constant fear that you're alone, adrift in space, and cut off from civilization, you're all going to die. And usually living a very Spartan life of like, oh, well, you have like 3 pieces of bread that are all freeze-dried or some shit. But I think any way I think about it, I like to think about it the most futuristic, impractical way possible. Like, even if it was the most advanced thing that even like you'd have to be uber rich to have. But like, imagine you just have this own personal ship that has all these extra areas, and you know, you have people that are your friends, and heck, you even have someone that's a lot closer than a friend that you're just, and your life is just enjoying going wherever the fuck you want in your really cool, awesome spaceship with no danger whatsoever, and having lots of sex. Obviously very unrealistic. And heck, again, maybe a bit unrelated, but again, Outlaw Star. That's a really cool anime. I like that anime. It's 26 episodes. I think it's awesome. It's one of the few things I would say I don't want a remake of it. I don't want a remake, and I don't want a sequel. I feel that the 26 episodes we got in Outlaw Star were perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it at all, and I feel so concerned that if they were to ever make a sequel, I feel like it could never live up to the original 26 episodes, and I feel like somehow it just become like a bastardized version of it, and they would just, I feel like it would ruin Outlaw Star. Heck, Cowboy Bebop's a good show too. But yeah, Outlaw Star with Gene Starwind. It's a really, really good anime. I don't think I can suggest it highly enough. But yeah, just imagine if you could explore places like that in full comfort with people you care about and close to, and you just go around walking this. I mean, heck, I don't know if anyone ever played the PS2 games. .hack Infection, .hack Quarantine, .hack Mutation, .hack Outbreak. But if you ever get the chance, I strongly suggest it. Though honestly, in my opinion, I would say this. If you're going to do so, remember that the original PS2 version of those games came with their own unique OVAs of their own separate animes, which are cool too. But honestly, what I would suggest most of all is you should watch the anime .hack Sign first with Tsukasa. And after that, you should get .hack Infection, including the OVA it comes with. Watch the OVA, and then play the game. And if you can, get the others. There's also eventually a .hack GU, which is a sequel. So technically those would be games 5, 6, and 7. But that's your choice if you really want to go that far with it. I would just feel that .hack Infection and .hack Sign, like, that'd be the main thing I would suggest. Watch .hack Sign and play. I would strongly suggest watching .hack Sign and then watching the OVA that came with .hack Infection, and then playing .hack Infection. Heck, Zone of the Enders, the second runner, is a really good video game too. I suppose I should end this video. I rambled quite a bit and I really didn't play a video game. I apologize for not actually playing the game. Sorry if this video was disappointing. I didn't really even read this game. I read for like 2 paragraphs. I'll try to stay focused on the actual game in the future. But for now, Wow, we're still on the same picture. We made no progress. Anyway. Until next time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I hope everyone out there has all the hugs and head pats you could ever need, and above all, thanks for joining me for, well, listening to an otaku ramble to himself about stuff nobody would ever want to listen to. And also, there's no reason for anyone to care about anything I have to say. I am literally a nobody. I am nothing, and I have no effect on the world whatsoever. And I really have no desire to change the world in any way. I just enjoy bands like Tool, Infected Mushroom, Korn, and I enjoy video games and anime. And I enjoyed making this video. So I am nobody and I am nothing. But I still enjoyed rambling on like this, even if nothing I said really matters in any way to anyone, and even if there's no reason why anyone would ever care about listening to anything I have to say about anything, let alone the contents of this video. But thank you for stopping by. Later.